Yeah, I mean,
Ansi
yeah, you're
Saleh
not gonna say
also
it out
talked
loud.
about, Ansi Saleh also talked about how he likes the optionality, which he said a million times, um, of this roster. He thinks that Luke Canard can be a more of a facilitator, ball handler. You know, we basically gave away Kobe Buffkin for nothing. And from the sounds of it, honestly, Saleh believes that Luke Kennard can be, as much as he is one of the best shooters to ever play the game of basketball, which by definition is true. Don't get mad with me. That's just what the numbers say. Is that he believes that he can do some facilitation too between him and Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
I don't know if I believe that, but I mean, it does get you. So you're trying to use him more as like a Reed Shepherd type guy.
Well, his example was when I had because he won a championship with Golden State, is we didn't have a backup point guard. And of course, but you also had the greatest shooter of all time, one of the greatest scorer of all times, the other almost one of the greatest shooters of all time, and another Hall of Famer in Draymond Green. So it's not the exact same, but I do understand the premise that he's speaking
about. Yeah, I do like the roster. I don't know if I like Luke Kennard there, but and I don't know if he didn't have a backup point guard at Golden State. Was he there during the Sean Livingston years, the first run?
He's later, because remember that was your boy Travis Schlink that was there the first time.
Schlink.
We love a Golden State assistant GM like nobody's business.
And then the second run,
what
KD, and then the second championship, second and third at KD. So they never were really without a star on the court. It was one of the four, or one of the three plus Draymond, or two.
But I mean, if you look at Draymond, I think their expectation is
Jaylen Johnson.
Yeah, Jaylen Johnson is.
Which I said that finally something in basketball I was right about. I said that a long time ago. I said we should use Jaylen Johnson as like a Draymond type, except for he's way more athletic, but he can pass and he got a similar shot. Draymond's shot,
Jaylen's shot is passable, but
what Draymond's shot is inexplicably it got worse over his career, which I didn't expect. Normally that doesn't happen. You get better, but Jaylen's shot has been getting better. What were you about to say about a shot?
Is that like the place where Draymond shines is he's a basketball savant. Like as good as Jaylen is, he doesn't have the Draymond IQ, and definitely not yet. I don't know if he'll ever get that, because I think that's a pretty high basketball IQ personally.
That's
but
like
I
LeBron,
think
Magic, Jordan.
Exactly. So I don't think that's fair to even ask somebody. Yes, absolutely. And I don't think that. I don't know if Jaylen can get there. I don't think that most basketball players can get there, though. But what Jaylen lacks in that level of IQ, I still think he's a really smart basketball player. I think that he's confident in his passing and facilitation, and he's infinitely more athletic, and he's taller.
Yes. Can finish at the rim. Shout out
but
to
that
you,
Trae got to get off the ball then. You got to be – you want to be Steph, you got to be Steph.
Which I think – that I mean, if he turns into off the ball Steph, and that means he has to work on his catch and shoot. Like his catch, Trae is good at step back, he's good at set, but like coming off screens, we try to, but he's a ball. We
don't even know if he can do it or not, because we don't see it enough. But
right, but if he can turn into that, I mean, that gets him the big contract. I mean, because at that point, because Steph gonna retire, and if he turns into catch and shoot, then
I don't think that that's in his car. I don't think that, especially in Atlanta, that's in his cards. One of the things that Ansi said today was, essentially he don't want to be a slave to the second apron. He says, I don't want to be one of those teams that gets pinched when it comes to the second apron. I want to be one of those teams that can take an advantage when teams have to get rid of players, i.e. Kristaps Porzingis, i.e. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. What you can get here, Trey, is you could possibly be the greatest Atlanta Hawk here. We will build a team of monsters around you,
and then give you a statue after you get the championship. You would own half the bluff.
The whole this is the thing. If you take a reasonable contract, and all you got to do is, let's be real here, win one championship. The only person that you really competing with right now is Dominique. You go somewhere else, you're going to forever be chasing. This is the one place where you could stamp yourself and be like, I am it.
And you would still be, at the worst, it would be like you in front of the team, Trae and the team. At best, it'll still be your city. Like, this going to forever be Trey Young city if you stay. If you go somewhere else, you're going to end up being.
But if you demand that money, they're going to say no, bro.
They're going to send you to Phoenix. That's purgatory.
No, they're not. Chicago, Toronto. You're not going to go anywhere where, because any team that's going to take you, you're probably going to have to be 2, which means you'll never own that team. And but do what you want to. You know how I feel about it. But if he takes a pay cut, they could do a lot with this team. And if he plays off the ball, they could possibly win a championship in the next few years if things go their way. But overall, it's exciting. Hawks look interesting.